Why are there still surprises when a business has an external accountant, would you say?
Yeah, so when the businesses, whenever I come in, I have these kind of put in the budget, cash flow forecast, management accounts, kind of core, make sure everything's sorted, core controls are done. Um, but then I look at like as a piece of the business, understanding like when you get, because we talked earlier about deferred income where you spread your income over the time that you're delivering it is one of the things that quite often is only done annually by businesses because
Yeah.
they see it as a statutory only adjustment. And what that means is you get to year end and maybe you like everything looks fantastic and then you defer 100 grand of your revenue. So you've got like maybe you've made 100 grand of profit, but then when they do the accounts they take 100 grand of revenue and just take it off because it belongs to next
So you
year,
make
and
no
suddenly
profit.
you've made no profit and you're sat there going, hang on a second, I thought we were making loads of money and now we haven't got any profit. And that's it's those kind of adjustments where anything that the year end accountants are moving around, particularly time wise, or creating a cost that wasn't there before, for example. So it's typically a small cost, but things like year end accountants fees are something that quite often are ignored until you get to year end, and then obviously the year end accountants accrue for them, as in
Yeah.
they put that cost into your accounts, and then suddenly you've got in some cases 10 grand's worth of accountancy fees depending on the size of your business if you've got an audit and stuff. So businesses I work with, it's always once we've got all the core priorities done, it's looking at what adjustments are done at year end and basically doing those every month. So my recommendation with any finance team is to make a month end the same as a year end. And there's always a subtle difference. There's always certain things that only come up at year end. At year end, you have to save down loads of files and documents, which I'm not saying you need to save all that stuff down every month, but the fundamentals of if you were to roll over to month end at the end of your year, you should be able to within a couple of weeks go out to your statutory accountants and say everything's through, we've checked everything, we're good to go. And like I say that, I've literally just done that with one of my clients where we've already wrapped up the accounts from our side 2 weeks into a new year, and that's that's the kind of gold standard for me, is that you can get to that point.